Hi, this is LauraJthe.Treetalker with the political outlook for the coming week. I'd like to start by mentioning that last week the trees predicted that influential people would become more involved and strengthen the movement. I think many of you will have seen that this is a prediction that came about, with some of those people coming out, speaking, and encouraging crowds of people who are hungry for positive change, and it's only the beginning. Okay, remember that these cards, if they are upright, indicate the meaning of the word or phrase that you see, and if reversed, the exact opposite. I'm not going to read out each card this time so I can elaborate a bit more than usual. The first 5 cards represent, from left to right, the basic thing that got us where we are today, the immediate past, the current situation, the immediate future, and the outcome for the week. I've mentioned before that we have entered the age of Aquarius, which is about the people. What is going on here in America is being watched by the whole world, partly because we've had a lot of power and influence since World War II, partly because of our wealth and military power, which we have spread around, and partly because we have, as faulty as it is, a working democratic republic, which in human history is unique, and it matters to the world how this experiment works out. At the moment, our system of government is being tested. We're in the fire. We could go either way, towards a stronger, better, truer form of government by and for the people, or towards a dictatorship. Those of you who follow any of the astrologers on YouTube will know what I'm talking about. This is a crux time according to the astrological chart of the United States. So what I'm seeing in the first 5 cards is the following. The central energy of Weeping Willow is music of the spheres. I think this indicates the energy that you would see in the movement of planets in the astrological chart. It is literally the music of the spheres. The basis card on the far left, Palo Verde reversed, tells me that an antagonism and lack of sympathy have gotten us here. This underlying cause has been brewing for a long time. Now it simply has gotten to where you can't miss it. Instead of giving and cooperating with other countries and peoples, we as a country have been abandoning our allies and those in need. Our own citizens are being left to fend for themselves as a let them eat cake position has been adopted. I think this is something that almost everybody is finally seeing. We have forgotten to apply the great truths to our daily lives. And don't forget that currently environmental steps forward, such as green energy projects, are being shelved. Instead, without regard to the future of the next generations, what we hear in the halls of power is, line your pockets while you can. Drill, baby, drill. And climate change is a hoax. Just this morning, I saw in my local small paper that this administration is considering reopening federal lands around Chaco Canyon to mineral development. Chaco Canyon, for God's sakes. To Native peoples, this is a sacred ancestral site, and for the rest of us, it is a great cultural and historical importance. We should embrace our past if we want to move into a positive future. The next card, Pohutu Hidden Truths, is kind of like the High Priestess card of the tarot, obscured facts or things that are not easily understood. I think this is referring to, sorry to call it this, but a cabal of the uber wealthy, people like Elmo, as we like to call him, the people who want to rule the world and turn us all into slave labor. They are people who have gone down the road of greed and have lost any sense of humanity. And you don't have to be a millionaire or billionaire to be reluctant to give to those in need. I'm not wealthy and I have a bit of debt that I'd like to be free of, but it occurred to me while I was doing this reading that I'm better off than a lot of people. Another thing I saw in my local paper this morning was that a local church that gives away many tons of food each year to families in need and has a weekly free kitchen event called the Shared Table is out of food. So I'm going to give them a couple $100 and my debt can wait a little longer. I think this card, Pohutu, also refers to the teachings given to us through all the great religions. The majority of our founding fathers would have been deeply immersed at that time in history in some form of religion that emphasized moral tenets and behavior and the rights of all people. And my understanding is that these men also based parts of our Constitution on the governmental system of the Six Nations Confederacy of Native Tribes. This is also an important part of our past, and we should be taught about it. In the immediate future position, we have sapote, engaging. I think this indicates that we're waking up. We're done watching with shock and disbelief. We're done looking for someone or something to come and save us. We, the people, are engaging in the struggle for democracy. The outcome card, Black Mayor Credible, says to me that we've gotten to where the majority of us had quit trusting our government. As a matter of fact, all forms of authority. But now we're learning that when we engage, we are becoming the government. We are becoming the authority. And we need to be the honest brokers of truth and concern for our fellow citizens that we're looking for in our leaders. So we're learning that we need to be credible. We need to put those great truths we were taught into practice in order to become the government we wish to have. The three clarifying cards are ebony reversed, having fault, hawthorn reversed, lack of commitment, and sausage tree reversed, untraditional, acting in a new way. The three clarifying cards tell me that we have to recognize our faults, be honest about them, and take responsibility for our own behaviors. We need to recognize that we haven't felt committed. We've been sitting on the sidelines, taking all the advantages that were hard won by others for granted. We see others being treated badly, but as it didn't affect us, we haven't done much. So maybe now it is affecting us. However, no blame about it. We're taking responsibility for where we are at the moment. Also, we're learning that this kind of movement hasn't been around for 50 years, so we have to develop fresh ways of bringing these right practices into our approach. The prediction cards are ginkgo, cascade, deluge, silver tree reverse, lack of caution and inattentiveness, and madrone, vision, ability to see perspective. The three prediction cards, I believe, are saying that we got a deluge of the people declaring their will, of standing up for their rights and wanting to be heard. And it was like, whoopee, look at what happened. And we're kind of crowing about it, which means we're taking our eyes off the ball a little. But the prediction is that behavior will be very short term. We are taking the win, so to speak, and we'll apply it to a newfound sense of how important the people's movement is at this time and for the future of the world itself. News coverage about this new self-confidence will make it even stronger because it will assure us that we're going in the right direction and are not alone in the journey. And that's all for this week's Outlook. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the little box that says that. And if you have been kind enough to do that already, think about telling a friend. Thanks for watching. This is LauraJthe.Treetalker, and I'll see you next time. Bye.